There are some paintings where we just can't shake the idea that the eyes are following us. In some ways, they are. It's called the Mona Lisa effect. The phenomenon got its name from the famous painting because some say Mona Lisa's gaze moves with you as you drift in front of her at the Louvre. There are a ton of videos on YouTube where people test out and are creeped out by portraits they encounter. I went to the National Museum of the American Indian to check for myself.
He moved.
It holds up. Let's look at how the Mona Lisa effect works and whether or not it has anything to do with the actual Mona Lisa. Little hint there.
The Mona Lisa effect was first noticed thousands of years before Leonardo da Vinci was even alive, by the ancient Greeks and Romans. However, the effect was limited at that point in history due to the lack of perspective techniques. Every painting from this time, be it Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and beyond, all looked two-dimensional. The only tool artists had to create depth was to alter the size of an object. Want something in the background? Just make it smaller than whatever is the focus. The Mona Lisa effect really took off after Filippo Brunelleschi introduced the linear perspective painting technique in the 14th century. Brunelleschi noticed how lines on a blueprint were drawing the eye back to a central point.
The technique changed everything. Here's how linear perspective works.
Lines in the painting, in this case Rembrandt's self-portrait in a velvet beret, are created through contrast, focus, lighting, shadowing, and actual lines in the painting itself. Everything is pulling your eyes towards his eyes. The lighting and shadowing gives the eyes depth. It makes them seem real, as if Rembrandt is in the room with you.
Making paintings seem three-dimensional adds to the Mona Lisa effect, but there's more to it than the techniques used to create the work of art.
This is Allie. Watch as Allie stares forward like a subject in a painting. As we move the camera, we can clearly tell Allie's eyes aren't moving with us as we move.
Why is that the case?
In order for someone to appear as though they're looking at us, we need to be able to see the iris and whites of their eyes. For paintings on flat, two-dimensional canvases, their gaze is fixed, meaning we can see the same amount of the iris and whites of the eyes almost wherever we are, so long as we're in front of them. And that doesn't change within a given range as we move. As we move in front of a painting, our brains adjust, using the fact that we can see the iris and whites of the eyes in the portrait to make it seem as though the painting is looking at you. According to a 2004 study that examined the brain, found that we have a want or a need to be seen by others, to be the center of attention.
As human beings, we want to be seen by other human beings. So here I am. Comment about my appearance.
The effect also works on photographs, like this one, which is realistic and close enough where you can see the whites of the eyes. However, the effect doesn't work in real life, in 3D, because as we move, we start losing parts of the whites of the eyes.
But what about the Mona Lisa herself? Does it hold up for the painting the phenomenon was named after?
A recent study found that the Mona Lisa does not exhibit the Mona Lisa effect. This is Professor Hortzman and Loth from the Cluster of Excellence, which is an incredible name for an academic organization. They had more than 2,000 people look at the Mona Lisa and tell them where they think she's looking. Almost all of them suggested that Mona was staring just to the right of the viewer. That seems to be the case. The researchers conclude that the Mona Lisa gazes 15.4 degrees to the right. The reason why the Mona Lisa effect doesn't work on the Mona Lisa is that her eyes are just too far to her left. We don't see enough of the whites of her eyes. Hortzman and Loth say that for any painting to look like they're following the person observing them, the eyes have to look outwards within a range of 5 degrees in either direction. So if what you're looking at is a realistic seeming painting that uses linear perspective, shadowing, and if you can see the whites of the subject's eyes, that painting will seem to follow you around the room. Seems like news that would be very relieving for Scooby-Doo.
Yes, the eyes are following you, and no, it's not a ghost. Or a weird old man wearing a mask to make you think he's a ghost, which is arguably scarier. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please like, comment, subscribe, and make sure you hit that little bell so that you get notifications for when Cheddar posts its new content. We have so much fun stuff coming. Please keep watching.